Coach. Thanks. CA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Inner Harbor and M&T Bank Stadium here in Baltimore, Maryland. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Oakland Raiders and the Baltimore Ravens. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Here we go. At their own 26-yard line.
Here we go. Set. Be there. Come on. Record.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He'll get it out quickly to Kirkwood. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Second and 3 at the 32-yard line.
They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3.
You ain't doing nothing today.
They run for the first time with Justice Hill. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
He may try and run for this. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 19th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Justin Tucker for the extra point. Ravens lead at 7-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry for Josh Jacobs. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Brings up 2nd and 9 at the 26-yard line.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. On second down, Jacobs. And he's going to get about 7 yards on that one, up to around the 33.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on third.
Let's go.
Carr now to throw. They're able to locate Wilson. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Carr completes it. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Hard throw, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they'll play keep away from the returner as this one will be marked out of bounds at the 13-yard line. Pretty good spot. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They'll be looking to duplicate the efforts of drive number 1 that resulted in 7 points in the 7-zip lead.
Well, you know how much I enjoy horse racing, right? Looks like they caught a flyer out of the gate, as they would say when you're running the big-time races. Means they get out to a fast start. They're setting the pace.
And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Myles Boykin, 87 yards. And the Ravens are able to show off their quick strike ability. Now Tucker to add the PAT. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Now Carr. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
Let's go, D.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. 4 yards there on the keeper, but still going to bring up a third down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing him further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Number 53, Mike 53.
On third down, Jackson steps away to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Lamar Jackson, such a threat with those legs, able to improvise and get the first.
When they watch film of this game and hand out the grade sheets, he's going to really like getting a double plus on this play. Why? He scrambles and picks up a first down. But what else does he do? Protects himself by sliding and avoiding the big hit. Double plus, big-time play.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson going for the deep ball. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee.
Let's go. Set. Mike 61. 3 at the mic. Oh, here we go. Oh.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
He's got the first down inside the 10, and he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Lamar Jackson doing it again with his third touchdown here in the opening quarter as the Ravens push further out in front. Tucker now for the extra point. It's good, and before you know it, it's 21-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
From the 30 on second down, Carr. And he completes it to Wilson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down. 21-0 our score after one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. They'll fight forward for a couple down inside the 40.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Let's get off the field, D. 734. 57.
From the gun, it's Carr. Got a man, it's complete. Williams. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. And they're able to convert on 3rd with a solid gain of 23.
Now, we're waiting. 50 seconds to mine. Hey, me and you all day.
Out of the gun, they give to Ingram. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
1st and goal, Raiders.
Now, you're wide at 8. You later one. You got later one. Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up.
Shotgun now for Carr. To the end zone, but it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver. But it'll be 2nd and goal. Well, you got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
They come up in an offset eye. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
He gets it halfway there with that run. I think you play up-tempo, get right back on the line of scrimmage, and hammer at him again.
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he tries to power forward, but he will not get back to the line of scrimmage.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily, you're right, but he did there. So now it's 3rd and goal. This Raven defense trying to keep him out of the end zone. Carr going to throw. That is caught by Brown. Touchdown, Raiders. Antonio Brown hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. Down 3 scores already. This game was really in danger of getting away from them. They needed a drive like that, especially on the road.
Not only to calm themselves, but maybe tamp down the crowd a little bit, because everything was against them. As you noted, this game could have gotten away from them very easily, but instead, the calming drive, now they have a little bit more confidence. Okay, we're back in it. All right, we're ready to go. That was impressive.
And the defense now needs to reciprocate. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got.
This is caught at the 20. A big play that time for the Ravens. 59 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
Jackson fakes the give and keeps it. He gets this into the hands of Kirkwood. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. On second down, it's Hill. He'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. They went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. So on fourth down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker Justin Tucker out onto the field. Tucker's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him not get through.
And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Now that's the kind of return that warms the heart of a special teams coach. He'll be pushing us next time, Brandon, to make sure his guys are introduced in the starting lineups. These guys have such an influence on every game. The unsung heroes, remember, they have their own meetings, their own practice time, heck, their own spot on the bench in order to be ready to play each and every week.
Here's a quick throw out to Wilson. A gain of 6 there on first.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 27, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. From the gun, it's Jackson. He dumps it down to Ingram. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. From the gun, Jackson. Rolling to his left. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on fourth down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Back deep, Antonio Brown. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 43-yard punt, but they get 9 back on the return. And the Raiders will take over now, 1st and 10.
At their own 21-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. It was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland 1st down. Now Carr. They go screen. This is Ingram. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Now Carr. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Ravens going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the 1st half of play. They had the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at 3rd down here. Operating from the gun, Carr. Flush to his right. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. I would maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
and I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive, and we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too, and they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
What we got? 93. 93.
On 2nd and inches, Carr. And he fires one incomplete. Brian Grant, the intended target. But now it's 3rd down.
Let's face it, if you want to get back into the game, these are the kind of throws you got to hit. He's wide open right there. Got to be able to get it to him, don't you think?
And those are the throws that haven't been available to them every time he's dropped a pass. Yeah, that's a big miss. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Now whistles here, and I believe one of the Raider linemen might have been moving. So that'll back him up 5. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now this time Carl throw. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see what the offense gets done.
And now they face a 2nd and 6 after the penalty.
Let's go, D.
Jackson now. He's got a man, complete. A gain of 28 yards there and give them a 1st down. Now whistles and the Raiders are going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Jackson from the shotgun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Let's go.
Draw play. Ingram now. And he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Ready. 53. Check 53. I got one.
Jackson now off the bootleg. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because This is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a second and very long. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. From the gun, Jackson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started, and they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Now! 180! 180, we're good, we're good! 180!
Carr going to give it to Jacobs. He wipes out the penalty yardage with a good run to get it back to 2nd and 7.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23.
A
quick throw here out to Brown. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
Down! 180!
My 40! You must be dreaming.
Operating from the gun, Carr. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
The Raiders take over first and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Here's Jackson to throw. And his throw is incomplete.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away, turned into a nice play.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Jackson, operating from the gun. He'll buy some time right. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
He certainly had plenty of success running the ball, and right now I'm getting this sense that he's looking to take off and run every time he steps back to throw it.
But they did a nice job there collapsing on him and holding him to a short gain. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Now Brown. They'll call that a 61-yard punt. He got all of that one. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Jacobs. And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. From the gun, Carr. And way up past the 35 before he's taken down. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19.